Today we're going to be doing Maths A, Paper 3H, January 2014, Edexcel IGCSE. Okay. This is the formula sheet given. It has most of the formulas here. Some of the formulas are not included. So just be aware and try to remember as many formulas as you can. Okay, now we are here. This is our first question. Here is a list of ingredients needed to make leek and potato soup for 6 people. These are the ingredients. Aisley wants to make leek and potato soup for 13 people. Work out the amount of chicken stock he needs. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the working and I'll explain it to you. Okay, now the calculations is 6 people takes 900 milliliter of chicken stock. Therefore 13 people takes how much? 13 over 6 times 900 gives us 1950 milliliter. That's the answer. Delia makes leek and potato soup for a group of people. She uses 1250 grams of leeks. Work out the number of people in the group. This is very similar to the first question. 750 grams of leek for 6 people. Therefore 1250 grams of leek is for how many people? 1250 over 750 times 6 gives us 10. So therefore it's 10 people. A plane flew from Frankfurt to Hong Kong. The flight time was 10 hours 45 minutes. The average speed was 852 kilometers per hour. Work out the distance the plane flew. Okay, 45 minutes is how many hours? 60 minutes we know it's 1 hour. Therefore 45 minutes or 60 minutes gives us the answer of 0.75 hours. So we know the flight time was 10 hours 45 minutes. We converted minutes into hours, therefore it's now 10.75 hours. 10.75 hours times 852 kilometers per hour gives us 9159 kilometers. That's our answer. I know this because of the formula. Distance is speed times time. You can just cover distance and you know the formula. Or you want to find speed, you cover speed. You want to find what is time, you close time. So that's that. So now question number 3. This is a right angle triangle. We have x centimeters, 7.8 centimeters and the angle of 43. Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Now we know which line is the opposite, hypotenuse and adjacent. We know the formula. It's sine of theta, which is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. We know opposite is x, hypotenuse is 7.8, and we know sine of theta is the angle, so sine of 43. So when we solve this, sine of 43 times 7.8 is x. X is therefore 5.32. Correct. Write 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 4 as a single power of 2. And B, 280 is 2 to the power of n times 5 times 7. Find the value of n. 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 4 is same as 2 to the power of 3 plus 4, which means the answer is 2 to the power of 7. Now, this one, 280 equals to 2 to the power of n times 5 times 7. Simple, just move 7 here. You will get 280 over 7, which is 2 to the power of n times 5. And then you move 5 over, then the answer is 40 equals to 2 to the power of n times 5. Same thing, 40, you move 5 over here, is 2 to the power of n, which gives us 8 equals to 2 to the power of n, therefore n is 3. Now, simplify 5c times 4c. 5c times 4c, it's 20c squared. Now, factorize 4x plus x squared. 4x plus x squared, just take out the x, put the brackets, 4 plus x, because when x times 4, it becomes 4x, x times x is x squared. Work out the value of y to the power of 3 plus 5y when y equals to 2. Y to the power of 3 plus 5y. You just have to replace y with 2. So wherever y is, just put 2. 2 to the power of 3 plus 5 times 2. 2 to the power of 3 is 8 as we saw here. Therefore, 8 plus 5 times 2 is 10. 8 plus 10 is 18. That's the answer. This is a diagram. T is a point on a circle, center O. T is a point on the circle, center is O. Q is a point such that angle QTO is 58. Q is a point such that angle QTO is 58 degrees. P is a point such that OP is parallel to QT and PT is a tangent to the circle. So now you get it. This is a parallel lines. This is a tangent line. Work out the size of angle OPT. OPT. They want to find out what angle is this. What is the angle of this? What can we find out from the diagram? Do that first. What do we know? This is a tangent line. When it's a tangent line, the line touching the tangent line is a 90 degree. That's the first one. Second, these are parallel lines and there's a line crossing it. Therefore, 58 here means this is definitely 58. If this is 58, we know this. Angle POT is 58, done. Angle OTP is 90. Therefore, angle OPT has to be 32. Why? Because in a triangle, all angles add up to 180. 180 you minus 58 and 90, you will get 32. That is the answer. Now, this is another diagram. An inequality is shown on the number line. Okay, this is the number line. Write down this inequality. B1, solve the inequality 2y minus 3 is more than same as 1. And B2, write down the lowest integer which satisfies this inequality, which they are referring to this inequality. Okay, what can we see from this number line? The empty dot shows where it starts and the full dot shows where it stops. So x is more than -1 and x is lesser than or same as 4. That's the answer for 7a. Whereas when you come to 7b1, they are asking to solve this inequality, right? So 2 in brackets y minus 3 is same as 1, more than or same as 1. So just times in 2y minus 6 more than same as 1. 2y is more than same as 1 plus 6 because when the negative comes this side becomes positive. When you plus these two you get 7. Y will be more than same as 7 over 2. This one. Therefore, y is more than same as 3.5. Write down the lowest integer. Okay, integer is, the meaning of integer means is that it cannot be a decimal number. So now, what is the closest decimal number? And it has to be more than 3.5. 4. A box contains 80 tea bags. The table shows information about the weight of each tea bag. So this is your table. Work out the percentage of the 80 tea bags that weight more than 3.1 grams. In B, work out an estimate for the total weight of the 80 tea bags. Use survey values of 2.8 grams, 85 grams and 2.95 grams. What are more than 3.1? 3.1. The more than 3.1 is 32 tea bags, 14 tea bags and 6 tea bags. So you plus all of them divided by the total, which is 80, times by 100 to give you a percentage, is 65%. Now this one, you got to get all the halfway points, right? So if you don't want to think, I give you an easy way. 2.9 plus 2.8, you plus them both and then you divide it, you will get 2.85. That you times by 2 and get 5.7. Once you have done like that for all of these, you can write them down like this, okay? Or you do it straight in your calculator and you will get points like this. Plus them all, you get 251 grams. That's the answer. Now, this is the continuous of A. That was A, B, this is C and D. Here is the cumulative frequency graph for the weights of the 80 tea bags. Okay, this is your cumulative frequency graph. Use the graph to find an estimate for the number of tea bags which weight more than 3.25 grams. Draw a line from 3.25 to where it touches the line. That will give you about 69. So we know that 3.25 gram, more than 3.25 gram is 69 bags. So total is 80 bags. We need to find we need to find out what is more than 3.25 grams. So far from 0 to 3.25 grams is 69 bags. Therefore the total is 80 bags. So the total minus of this, you will get this, which is 11 bags. Now use the graph to find an estimate for the interquartile range of the weights of the tea bags. Interquartile range is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. To find the upper quartile, you got to do this calculation first. Upper quartile is 3/4 times the total, which is the 60th term. Lower quartile is 1/4 times 80, which is the 20th term. When you do that on the graph, like I'll do it in a second. See the dashed line from the 60th term and the 20th term, where the 20th term is 3.07, the 60th term is 3.2. So your upper quartile is 3.2, your lower quartile is 3.07. Therefore, your interquartile will be 3.2 minus 3.07, which is 0.13. That's your interquartile range of the tea bags. Describe fully the single transformation which maps triangle P onto triangle Q. On the grid, translate triangle Q by the vector -8 and 2. Label the new triangle R. Describe fully the single transformation which maps triangle R onto triangle P. So let me do this first, and then I'll show you how to do this on the map step by step, and then we'll do this. Okay, this is an enlargement, okay, just to make it simple. When triangle P onto triangle Q, it's an enlargement. Scale factor, you see this has 1 scale, this has 3 scales, therefore it's enlarged by 3. The center is a bit tricky, but you need a ruler, like what the beginning they said instructions was, right? You need a ruler to get it properly. So you got to match the tips of it, okay? Each and every tip, when you draw a line, you'll meet at one point. That's your center. So this is a center, 4x and 3y. Now on the grid, translate triangle Q by the vector -8 and 2. When this is given, note that the top one is x and the bottom one is y. When the x is negative, you got to move your triangle points. If it's negative, left. If it is positive number, it's right. For y, if it is negative, it's down, positive is up. So like that, I've moved triangle Q points here. Okay, you see from here, from this point, you gotta go -8, which means left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you go up 2 times, 1 and 2. That's where it is. Such as that I did for all 8 negative left, 2 positive up. Same goes to do for this one, 8 negative left and 2 positive up. So then you can draw your triangle, okay? Use a ruler, make it look clean and neat, and then label it R, like so. Now describe fully the single transformation which maps triangle R onto triangle P. Enlargement scale factor 1/3. You see, when it's becoming small, it's 1/, but when it's big, it's just a number. This is called enlargement because when from P to R is enlargement. Center 8, 2. Same, the center you gotta do it. I did it in different color, but I don't think so in the exam you're allowed to do like that. I did it in different color so that you can see it more clearly. Now for number 10. Serena bought a car that had a value of 16,000. That's cheap. At the end of each year, the value of her car had depreciated by 15%. Calculate the value of her car at the end of year 3. 16,000 times 15% gives you 2,400. 16,000 minus 2,400, you get 13,600. Same, you have to do like that for 13,600, you'll get 11,560. Similar to that, you have to do one more time and you will get the correct answer, which is 9,826. Now always use your symbols in front, otherwise you might tend to put it in the end, you might forget. But as you can see, they've already put one for me here. Solve 6x minus 1 over 4 minus 5 minus 2x divided by 2 equals to 1. Show clear algebraic working. 6x minus 1 divided by 4 minus 5 minus 2x over 2 equals to 1. Write your question here, because sometimes you might tend to miss certain minor details and your whole thing is gone. So now you just bring 2 on top to here, 4 on here. The minus stays. 4 times 2 is 8. Therefore you put 8 outside. You times by 1. So when you do that, you will get this 12x minus 2 minus 20 plus 8 equals to 8. Bring all the x's to one side and bring all the numbers outside. You will get this line. Now plus the 2x's gives you 20x, plus the numbers you'll get 30. Bring down 20. So 30 over 20, which is same as 3 over 2. Therefore, x is 1.5. The diagram shows a shape made from triangle ABC, and a semicircle with diameter BC. This is a semicircle, its diameter is B and C. Triangle ABC is right angled at B. Okay, AB is 7.6 centimeters, AC is 9.5 centimeters. Calculate the area of the shape. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Pythagoras theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now I've labeled which is a, b, c. Some of you all still have the confusion which part is a, b and c. You might, but I had it. So this is a, this is b, this is c. So a squared will be c squared minus b squared. We know c is 9.5, so 9.5 squared. We know b is 7.6, so 7.6 squared. Make it into numbers, is easier for you, 32.49. Now a squared equals to 32.49, but what is a equals to? A equals to, when the square comes this side, it becomes a square root. So square root of 32.49 is 5.7. Therefore we know that line CB is 5.7. Area of triangle. Area of triangle is breadth times height divided by 2. 7.6 is your breadth, 5.7 is your height, divided by 2 is 21.66. Area of semicircle, this is your area of semicircle, is half times pi times the diameter divided by 2. We know the diameter is 5.7, we solved it just now, and it's squared. So when you do this, you will get 12.75. 21.66 plus 12.75 give you 34.4 centimeters squared. The box contains 20 nails. The table below shows information about the length of each nail. This is your table. Viraj takes at random one nail from the box. Find the probability that the length of the nail he takes is 50 millimeters or 60 millimeters, less than 35 millimeters. Now, we know that 50 millimeters, there's a chances of 5 nails. And 60 millimeters, there's a chance of 2 nails. So it's 5 or 20, because the 20 is the total amount of nails, right? It's 5 nails out of the 20 nails plus 2 nails out of the 20 nails. There's a probability that he might take 50 or 60 millimeter of 7 over 20. Lesser than 35 millimeters. Same. What is lesser than 35 millimeters? We know that 30 there's 8 nails, 25 there's 1 nail. Do the same thing, you'll get 9 over 20. That's your answer for this. Jamila puts all 20 nails into a bag. She takes at random one of the nails and records its length. She replaces the nail in the bag. She then takes at random a second nail from the bag and records its length. Calculate the probability that the 2 nails she takes each have a length of 60 millimeters, have a total length of 80 millimeters. 60 millimeters is 2 over 20 times 60 millimeters, which is 2 over 20, gives us a probability of 4 over 400. Same thing, have a length of 80 millimeters in total. Therefore, when 50 millimeter nail and 30 millimeter nail combined, you will get 80 millimeters in total. So 5 over 20 times 8 over 20 plus 8 over 20 times 5 over 20 plus, we know 40 and 40 is 80. So 4 over 20 times 4 over 20. 40 over 400 plus 40 over 400 plus 16 over 400 gives us 96 over 400. That's our probability that is it a he or she? She will take 96. There's a probability 96 over 400 that she will take 80 millimeters in total. D is directly proportional to t squared. When t is 4, d is 8. Find a formula for d in terms of t. D, there's a constant in front of t squared. Put the numbers into 8 equals constant 4 squared. 8 equals constant 16. So, the easiest way to find out what is k, you divide both sides by 16. Therefore, you get 1 here. K times 1 is still k. You'll get half here. Therefore, k equals to half. The new formula will be d equals half t squared. Find the positive value of t when d is 50. D equals to half t squared. That's this one. We know d is 50 and half can go here, become 2. So it becomes 100, becomes t squared. T equals to 10. Remember, 2 goes that side, becomes square root. Square root of 100 is 10. ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. AB is 8.9. AD is 6.7 and angle BAD is 74. Calculate the area of parallelogram ABCD. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Now, this is a bit tricky, but if the area of parallelogram is breadth times height. The only thing we don't know is the height. The breadth is 8.9. To find the height, just draw a line here and put a line to connect it. You know, this is a triangle already. So when this is a triangle, this degree, this will be a 90 degree, right? You know this is 16. The remainder is 16. Therefore, you can use the formula of cos to find out what is the height. Is 6.44. So 8.9 times 6.7 is 57.316. Okay, now this question, given that y is positive, make y the subject of y equals square root ay squared plus n. Show clear algebraic working. So I've done the work already. Y equals to, this is the question, right? So when the square root comes this side, it becomes a power of. This stays same. So now what we do, we bring the ay squared this side across the equals to, so it becomes a negative, and then you are left with y. Factorize this, take out y squared because both sides has y squared, right? It becomes 1 minus a equals to n. Then you bring down 1 minus a, the bottom of n. Earlier I did told that the square root when it comes this side, when the square it comes this side, it becomes a square root. So that leaves us with y equals to square root n over 1 minus a. Now, number 17. Given that 5 minus square root x squared equals y minus 20 square root 2, where x and y are positive integers, find the value of x and the value of y. So, write down your equation. Because this is squared, break it into 2, right? Break it into 2, and then you times in, you will get this line up here. Get this line here. Okay. Then what you got to do, you got to plus, you need to solve this equation and you will get this line. 25 minus 10 square root x plus x equals to y minus 20 square root x. Can you see there is a similarity between these, right? So we got to write it down here. Negative 10 square root x equals to negative 20 square root x. We divide both sides by negative 10. That will leave us with square root x equals to 2 square root 2. Square root goes that side, becomes a square. And that leaves us with x is 8. Now what you got to do, replace x from here, from this equation, replace all x with 8. That will give you y is 33. X equals 9 times 10 to the power of 2m, where m is an integer. Find in standard form an expression for square root x. This is your equation. So now you want to find what is square root x, right? Because this is square root, you have to square root the rest of it also. Square root 9 times square root of 10 to the power of 2m. Sorry, it looks like 102, but actually I wrote it wrong. It's supposed to be 10 to the power of 2m. So now square root and 2 will cancel off. That will leave us with square root x equals 3 times 10 to the power of m. That's your answer. Y equals to 9 times 10 to the power of 2n, where n is an integer. Integer, no decimals. Find in standard form an expression for y to the power of 3 over 2. So y to the power of 3 over 2 equals to 9 to the power of 3 over 2 times 10 to the power of 2n times 3 over 2. That will give us 9 to the power of 3 over 2 times 10 to the power of 3n. Because 2 and 2 will cut off, you will get 3 times n, which is 3n. 9 to the power of 3 over 2 is 27, and this stays the same. But beware guys, this is in standard form. Therefore, 2.7 times 10 to the power of 3n plus 1. That's your answer. Factorize completely 12x minus y squared equal minus 4x minus 3y squared. Write your equation down. Break it up into two sets. Okay. And then you break up the brackets. Okay. And then you times each other. Once you come to 8x plus 2y times 16x minus 4y, you have to factorize it and take the two factorized answers, combine it. 8 brackets 4x plus y, 4x minus y. That's your answer. F is the function fx equals 2x plus 5. Find f to the power of 3. Simple, this is fx, right? Turn all of x into 3, you will get your answer 11. 2 to the power 2 times 3 is 6 plus 5 is 11. Express the inverse function fx minus f to the power of negative 1 in the form f to the power of negative 1 x. Now, use the same formula. Switch the x and y. Okay, so now you have x in y's place and y in x places. And now you solve for y. Therefore, 5 goes to negative 5. 2 comes down, divided by 2. Now what you do, you replace y's place with f to the power of negative 1. That's your answer. G is a function gx. This question is same as number A. Gx equals x squared minus 25. Find g to the power of g negative 3. So now replace all of x with negative 3. You'll get your answer negative 16. Find gfx. Give your answer as simply as possible. So now we know what is fx, we know what is gx. Gfx is replace x with fx. So wherever there's x in gx, you replace it with fx. So this equation comes into here. Okay, so it's squared minus 25. You get your answer. Solve gfx equals to 0. Okay. 4x squared plus 20x equals to 0. This must equals to 0 now. Use this formula, negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac. You will end up to this equation at the last. I labeled it 4x squared as a, 20x as b, and 0 as c. Replace it with replace the alphabets with the numbers, and you will end up at this. Negative 20 plus minus 20 divided by 8. You will get two answers. First is 5, second is 0, or you might get first as 0 and second as 5. That's the answers. That's the correct answers. ABCD is a trapezium. AB is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC. AB is 12A. AD is 3B. DC is 18A. E is on the point of diagonal DB such that DE is 1 over 3 of DB. Find in terms of A and B. DB. Okay, from D you got to go to B. So from D you got to go to B. Very simple. This is positive 3b, right? Minus 3b. This is positive 12a plus 12a. That's your answer. DE. Okay. DE. From D, you got to go to E. So how you going to do that? They've given here that DE is 1 over 3 of DB. So you just times 1 over 3 of this answer. You will get your answer. Negative b plus 4a. Now A to E. A to E. What do we know from here? We know that, right, we know that AE, A to E, it's plus 3B, and DE. DE we already solved. We just plus it with 3B. That will give you an answer of 4A plus 2B. That's the correct answer. Last question, guys. Show by a vector method that BC is parallel to AE. We know what is BC. It's 12A plus 3B plus 18A, which is same as 6A plus 3B. and AE, which is 4A plus 2B. So we got to factorize both of this, right? We will get 2A plus B and 2A plus B. So what do we got to do from here? We know that BC equals to 302 of AE, because this will equal to this, BC will equal to AE, and BC equals to AE, we know that BC equals to 302 of AE. Proved. You're done with the paper. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications. There's more papers coming up soon.